Hi everyone, myself Satyashree. In this video, I would like to explain about narcotic analgesics. Coming to the introduction, narcotic analgesics are a class of medicines that are used to provide relief from moderate to severe acute or chronic pain. Nothing but in the previous video we are already discussed about non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. They are only used to treat a mild pains. So whenever the pain is severe, in that condition we go for a narcotic analgesics. So these drugs, also known as opiates, are also known as opioid analgesics, are simply known as narcotics. So when we can name as opioids, analgesics or opiates is nothing but these are the substances that act on opioid receptors. There are three types of opioid receptors are there, that is mu, kappa and delta receptors to produce morphine like effects. Such agents we can name it as opioids. So what are opioids? These are the substances that act on opioid receptors and produce morphine like action. Such agents we can name it as opioid analgesics. And next, an important parameter is classification. How will you classify the narcotic analgesics? Depending upon the structure, chemical structure, these are majorly classified into 6 major classes. And coming to the first and important class is morphine and its derivatives. So morphine derivatives are also known as 4,5-epoxy morphinans. This is the structure of an morphine derivatives. The two examples are there: morphine sulfate, another one is an codeine. These two are the morphine derivatives. And second one is morphinans. So what is the difference between morphine and morphinans is, so there is a lack of epoxy linkage and we can name it as morphinans. The example is levorphanol tartarate. And third class of drugs is benzomorphans or benzojosin derivatives. The example is pentajocin. So this is the first three classes. There is only the small structural difference in each and every class. If you learn about the structure of morphine, the modifications it gives on morphinans as well as an benzomorphans. Simple modifications it gives the respective classes. And next class is 4-phenyl piperidines. So 4-phenyl piperidines, it does not possess an morphine-like structure. It consisting of piperidine. At the fourth position, it consisting of a phenyl ring. 4-phenyl piperidines. So the examples are meperidine, eniliridine, diphenoxylate, loperamide. All those are generally available in HCl salt state. So these are the 4 examples of 4-phenyl piperidines. And next one is 4-enilinopiperidines. Itself indicates only the differences. Instead of phenyl ring, it consisting of an aniline. Simply here benzene ring is there, nothing but phenyl. Here it consisting of an benzene with NH2, nothing but aniline substituted piperidines. The very important example is fentanyl citrate. So we are already studied about the fentanyl citrate under general anesthetics. It is used as an adjuvant for dissociative anesthesia. And next and last class is diphenylheptanes. Two examples are there: methadone hydrochloride, another one is an propoxyphene hydrochloride. These two are the diphenylheptanes. It is completely different structure consisting of 2 phenyl rings with an heptane. It gives an diphenylheptanes, methadone as well as propoxyphene hydrochloride. So remember here, all these narcotic analgesics, nothing but opioids, are generally available in the salt state. Either most probably in hydrochloride salt state. Some may be as citrates, some may be as tartarates. In case of morphine and codeine, generally observed as sulfates. This is about the classification of narcotic analgesics. And next one is first class of drug is morphine derivatives. So what is the other name of morphine derivatives? Also known as 4,5-epoxy morphinans. So this is the structure of an morphine sulfate. Two examples are there. One is morphine sulfate and the other one is codeine sulfate. So this is the structure of an morphine sulfate. So carefully learn the structure of an morphine. If you learn the structure of morphine, automatically by small changes we can write the remaining 3 or 4 classes of drugs. So this is the structure of an morphine. It consisting of an phenanthracene, 3 benzene rings, we can name it as an phenanthracene. So this is the numbering: first position, second, third, position. At the third position, one hydroxy group is there. It is generally attached to the benzene, nothing but phenyl ring. We can name this third hydroxy as phenolic hydroxy. I again repeat here. So what is this hydroxy? Phenolic hydroxy group. And this is the fourth and fifth position. Between the fourth and fifth position, just we are introducing an oxygen. We can name it as epoxy linkage. So this is an phenolic hydroxy, and next one is between 4 and 5 carbons, it consisting of epoxy linkage. And next one is sixth one, it consisting of an OH, but it is not an aromatic ring, so we can name this one as alcoholic hydroxy group. So generally in case of morphine, it consisting of two hydroxy groups. One is an phenolic at third position, and the one is an alcoholic hydroxy group. Along with the between fourth and fifth carbon atom, it consisting of epoxy linkage. And another one is at this position between 7 and 8. So what is the numbering? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Between 7 and 8 position, it consisting of a double bond, as well as this ring system. So it is incorporated within the benzene ring, but this ring system we can name it as a piperidine ring. So this piperidine ring is generally consisting of nitrogen. This nitrogen is methyl substituted. Most probably this nitrogen must be in tertiary in nature. So this is the structure of a simple structure of morphine. So morphine is generally available in the sulfate. So that is the salt state of a morphine. So morphine is the first initially discovered opioid analgesics. It is acts as a ligand for mu receptors, and it is naturally occurring active form of morphine is levorotatory enantiomer. So this is important for pit paper. Which enantiomer is active? Levorotatory enantiomer of morphine is active, which acts as a ligand for mu receptors. And this is next about an codeine sulfate. So this is the structure, everything is same. So this simple modification is here hydroxy group is there, here methoxy group is there. Just methylation of an phenolic hydroxy group, it gives an codeine sulfate. So because of this small change, codeine sulfate is acts as an antitussive agent, whereas morphine acts as an analgesic, whereas codeine sulfate is acting as antitussive. So pharmacological action similar as that of morphine. Along with the similar pharmacological actions, it also possesses other pharmacological actions. So that is nothing but it is acts as antitussive agent. So in combination used to treat moderate pain. By combination with other type of drugs used to treat a moderate pain. That is about a morphine as well as an codeine. Just focus on the structures. Simple modification. This phenolic hydroxy is replaced with a methoxy group. That is the methoxy morphine is nothing but a methyl morphine is nothing but a codeine. And next one is morphine and derivatives. So the difference is, so there are three changes we are observed between morphine derivatives and morphine and derivatives. What are the three changes is, everything is same here, but there is a lack of epoxy bridge here. There is the first change here. Next change is lack of alcoholic hydroxy group and lack of double bond between C7 and C8 carbon atoms. So three changes. One is lack of epoxy bridge here, oxygen, lack of epoxy bridge, lack of alcoholic hydroxy, lack of double bond. These are the three changes of morphine, and it gives an morphine and derivatives. So remaining thing is it is also methyl substituted. The example of drug under morphine and derivatives, levorphenol tartarate. It is available in the tartaric acid salt. So morphine and derivatives obtained by removing 4,5 ether bridge, we are already discussed, double bond and alcoholic hydroxyl group. Due to these changes leads to increased binding affinity to all opioid receptors. Because of lack of these three changes, we are observed the higher binding affinity to all opioid receptors and stronger agonistic activity at opioid receptors like mu, kappa and delta receptors. That is some of the information regarding a levorphenol tartarate. And next one is then benzomorphans are also known as benzojosin derivatives. So what is benzomorphans is lack of benzene in morphanans. It gives an benzomorphans, also known as benzojosin derivatives. The example is pentajosin. So pentajosin, the substituted Chinese and pentyl. So pentane is present in the nitrogen atom. In previous structures of morphine and codeine and levorphenol were observed in methyl only. Here it consisting of a pentene chain. So there is a one change. Another one is that here generally it possesses another cyclohexane ring. There is a lack of cyclohexane. Wherever the cyclohexane is attached, at the respective carbons are attached with n2 methyl groups to give a pentajosin. So coming to the some information about a pentajosin, the only benzomorphan in clinical use is pentajosin as prepared as 2R, 6R, 11R enantiomer. This is important for an GPAT examination. What type of enantiomer is useful for clinical use? 2R, 6R, 11R enantiomer. It is a mixed agonist and antagonist at opioid receptors. At the mu receptor, it is a partial agonist and weak antagonist. This is also important. At the mu receptor, it is a partial agonist and weak antagonist. And next one is 4-phenylpiperidines. So 4-phenylpiperidines, 4 examples are there. Coming to the first and important example is meperidine hydrochloride. So coming to the structure, 4-phenylpiperidine. This is the piperidine. So nothing but pyridine structure, but without delocalization we can name it as a piperidine ring. So always we have to start give the numbering from your heteroatom. This is the first position, second, third and fourth position. At the fourth position it is substituted with the phenyl, right? So that's why we can name it as an 4-phenyl piperidine. This is the structure of 4-phenyl piperidine. And meperidine, Me indicates an methyl substituted one. At the fourth position it also consisting of an ester of an carboxylic acid. So this is the structure of meperidine hydrochloride. So it is a low potency when compared with an morphine. It is a mu receptor agonist, and normeperidine shows an CNS side effects. From where we are getting normeperidine is nothing but a metabolite of meperidine. So whenever there is a lack of methyl, we can indicate a suffix nothing but a nor. So meperidine upon metabolism, it gives a normeperidine, which generally shows an CNS side effects. And next one is an diphenoxylate hydrochloride. So what is the structure of diphenoxylate hydrochloride? This is the structure. It is also 4-phenylpiperidine and it is then substituted here. This is the substitution we are observed in diphenoxylate hydrochloride. It is a weak opioid agonist and is available combined with atropine for use as an antidiarrheal. This is very important bit for entrance examination. Which narcotic analgesics is used as antidiarrheal? So the example is diphenoxylate hydrochloride. It is a weak opioid agonist and is available combined with atropine for use as an antidiarrheal. That is about meperidine and diphenoxylate. And next one is loperamide. So this is the structure of a loperamide. So seems somewhat complex in the structure. Just for examination, we must remember the structure by practice itself. So the basic structure is an 4-phenylpiperidine, but here one of the differences in previous structures we are observed in only phenyl. It is an chlorobenzene ring. So it is chlorobenzene substituted one, and we must remember this structure. This is the structure of loperamide. It is acts as an antidiarrheal by directly binding to opioid receptor in the gut wall. So it inhibits an ACH, nothing but acetylcholine and prostaglandin release, and decreases the peristalsis and fluid secretions and increase the GI's transit time. So one of the very important bit for your GPAT and PG set and also for your final examinations. So in case of bit paper, they ask like this. So which narcotic analgesic is used as antidiarrheal? The best and very important example is loperamide. So in the previous structure we are studied about the diphenoxylate. It is also used but not alone. In combination with atropine only we are used as an antidiarrheal, but loperamide itself is used as an antidiarrheal agent. This is very important. So concentrate on this bit. So which narcotic analgesic used as antidiarrheal agent? Nothing but a loperamide hydrochloride. And last and final example is enileridyl hydrochloride. This is the structure of enileridyl hydrochloride. Very very simple structure like meperidine. So it consisting of 4-phenylpiperidine and ethyl carboxylate as well as an ethyl group substituted with an aniline. It gives an enileridyl hydrochloride. This is the 4 examples about an 4-phenylpiperidines. And next one is 4-enilinopiperidines. So the important example is nothing but a fentanyl citrate. So this is the structure of fentanyl citrate. So it is an piperidine ring. It is attached with an aniline, benzene with NH. So this is the structure of fentanyl citrate available in the form of a citric acid. So it is a sedative and euphoria inducing analgesic with a potency approximately 50 to 100 folds than morphine because of highly lipophilic in character. So all these opioid analgesics generally produces and common side effects as sedative and euphoric effect, but when compared with the morphine and codeine, the fentanyl produces an 50 to 100 folds than morphine because of highly lipophilic in character. Because of high lipophilicity, it easily crosses an blood-brain barrier and acts on a central nervous system. And duration of action of fentanyl citrate is 30 to 60 minutes, and it is administered IV as adjuvant to anesthesia as a dissociative anesthetic, and it is a transmucosal transdermal nasal spray formulation of fentanyl citrate are available to treat chronic pain including the pain of cancer. So this is very very important. It is available in different formulations like transmucosal, transdermal and nasal spray formulations, so majorly used to treat a cancer pain. So the important bit for exams is, so which narcotic analgesic is used to treat a cancer pain? The best example is an fentanyl citrate. Another bit here is, so what is the category for enilinopiperidines? So one more bit is there under fentanyl citrate, that is it is a type of dissociative anesthetic agent. And last and final class is diphenylheptanes. Two examples are there: methadone hydrochloride and propoxyphene hydrochloride. This is the structure of methadone hydrochloride. So diphenylheptanes. This is the heptane, diphenylheptanes. So next one is, this is synthetic opioid approved for analgesic therapy and for the maintenance and treatment of opioid addiction. So it is R enantiomers 7 to 50 times more potent than S enantiomer. So which enantiomer is more active? R enantiomer is more active when compared with an S enantiomer. So methadone hydrochloride generally used to treat an opioid addiction. So as a maintenance dose, generally they have to give an methadone hydrochloride. And next one is propoxyphene hydrochloride. This is the structure of an propoxyphene hydrochloride. These two are comes into the category of diphenylheptanes. And coming to the very very important topic under narcotic analgesic is SAR of morphine analogs. So we have to remember what are the minimum requirement to show a narcotic analgesic activity. So if they have to go for the modification of those important parameters, automatically there is maybe increase or decrease in the pharmacological action. So before starting with an SAR of morphine analogs, so morphine has one phenolic and one alcoholic hydroxyl group. So this is the basic structure of morphine analogs. At this third position, it consisting of for this benzene there is attach of one OH. We can name it, this is phenolic. At third position, phenolic OH. At the sixth position, alcoholic OH. There is a presence of double bond between 7 and 8 carbon atoms. There is a presence of epoxy bridge between 4 and 5 carbon atoms. First we have to remember these modifications. Another one is this nitrogen atom. So first one is, if there is a blockade or nothing but change of this phenolic hydroxyl group either by etherification or by esterification, just go for changing this one into an ether or to an ester, results in reduction in analgesic action and increase in antitussive activity. So we are studied in the morphine, it is an OH. In codeine, it OCH3. Nothing but we have to go for a modification here. So and finally it gives an codeine, which is an less analgesic but more antitussive activity. That is about this third hydroxy. And coming to the sixth alcoholic hydroxy group, either esterification or etherification, same, results in increase in CNS depressant effect and have a high addiction liability. So if there is modification of this OH, always leads to high addiction liability and increase in CNS depression actions. So modifications of this third OH gives antitussive effect. Modification of this 6 OH, it gives an CNS depressant effect and high addiction liability. So if there is the oxidation or replacement of this 6 OH by halogen like chlorine or hydrocarbon, lead to moderate increase in analgesic activity. If it is oxidation or just convert into double bond O or replace this with an chlorine or hydrocarbon, always there is an increase in analgesic activity. And another point is, if there is a double bond is there between 7th and 8th position, if it is saturated, automatically the activities decreases. That is another point. This epoxy bridge also important for activity. And next one is, this is always an tertiary one. 1, 2, 3. It is an tertiary nitrogen. If it is an quaternary nitrogen, automatically the activities decreases. That is, we are on next slide. I discuss those points in the next slide. So this one. Next one is an reduction of double bond between C7 and 8 produces hydromorphine, which is an 5 times potent as morphine in analgesic activity and equal in addiction liability. So blockade of both hydroxyl groups by acetylation produces diacetyl morphine. The third hydroxy and sixth hydroxy convert into acetyl groups, it gives an diacetyl morphine, nothing but an heroin, which is more potent as analgesics and intense addiction liability. So heroin is more addiction molecule when compared with morphine. The substitution of other than 3 positions in the aromatic ring results in reduction of analgesic activity. So whatever the substitutions are there in the third and the sixth and fourth and fifth position, other than those substitutions, always there is a reduction in analgesic activity. And another point is, breakage of ether bridge between C4 and C5, nothing but epoxy, leads to decrease in activity. Always it is essential for activity. So the opening of piperidine ring causes decrease in activity. So all the molecules were observed in piperidine as basic nucleus. So quaternization of tertiary amine leads to loss of activity, whereas replacement of CH3 group by ethyl group activity decreases. Allyl groups shows an antagonistic activity. So if you want an agonist activity, always the nitrogen atom, it must possess an methyl group. So if we require an antagonistic action, it is substituted with other than methyl ethyl, just with an higher homologs like an allyl, etc. Always it gives antagonistic action. And last and final point, introduction of OH group at C14 position in hydromorphine produces hydroxyhydromorphine, several times more potent as analgesic when compared with perindoprase. So this is about the SAR of morphine analogs. Coming to the mechanism of action of opioid analgesics, opioid receptors are at 3 types: mu, kappa, and delta receptors. All these 3 receptors are a type of G protein coupled receptors. They are situated on prejunctional neurons. They are located in the central nervous system on prejunctional neurons. So what is the action? They exert inhibitory modulations. Inhibition is the action of these receptors by decreasing the release of junctional neurotransmitters like noradrenaline, dopamine, 5-HT, and glutamate. All these 4 are excitatory neurotransmitter. By decreasing these excitatory neurotransmitters, it produces an inhibitory action. And next, this is the pictorial representation how the opioid agonist shows its action. So this is the opioid receptor. It may be an mu, kappa, or delta. So this is a opioid receptor. So when we are inhale opioid analgesics, nothing but opioid agonists. The opioid agonists, they are bind with an opioid receptors first. So after binding, these are a type of G protein coupled receptors. So these G protein coupled receptors serves two actions. So one is after binding, they can act on an adenylate cyclase. The adenylate cyclase is useful for conversion of a cyclic AMP to ATP to cyclic AMP. So adenylate cyclase is inhibited. Finally, what happens? There is no change of ATP to cyclic AMP. If the cyclic AMP is not there, automatically there is inhibition of a calcium entry. So what happens here? Because of the inhibition of adenylate cyclase, there is inhibition of entry of a calcium. So if the entry of calcium is inhibited, automatically it can promote the efflux of potassium. So it serves two functions. So one is there is a opening of potassium ion channels, there is a inhibition of an calcium ion channels, and finally what happens, it leads to an hyperpolarization, and finally there is a decrease the release of a neurotransmitters. That is a major important mechanism of action. So I repeat the mechanism. Opioid receptors bind with agonist and they inhibit adenylate cyclase, and finally inhibit the formation of cyclic AMP and inhibit the release of calcium. So the two actions at a time. One is it can promote the opening of potassium ion channels, it can inhibit the entry of calcium, and finally inhibit the release of neurotransmitters by promoting hyperpolarization. Just I represents in the theory here. Opioid analgesics bind with the receptors, getting activated, reduce intracellular cyclic AMP formation, and open the potassium channel and suppress the voltage gated sodium type channels, and causes hyperpolarization and decrease the neurotransmitter release. So what type of neurotransmitters here? So new pre-junctional neurotransmitters like noradrenaline, 5-HT, etc., and ultimately it leads to an analgesic action. That is the simple mechanism of action of opioid analgesics. Thank you one and all for your attention. Thank you.